Eight minutes up to 8 o'clock. Good morning. This is the TBS, the True Breakfast Show. 961, the heart and soul of Liberia. It's great to be back on a Thursday morning. A lot of things happening. In the midst of all, country should come first. Am I right? Am I wrong? Country first, man. But welcome to the TBS. We'll serve you breakfast up to 10 o'clock this morning. The love of liberty, man. Where is that love? The love of liberty met us here. Let justice be done to all, not for the common man. Let justice be done to all. Good morning. Good morning to the 15 counties in the land and breath of the Republic of Liberia. My name is O'Neill. Marka is right here. His heart and soul is in Nimba. Our results are coming in. Well, good morning, man. So much happening this morning. Great to be back this morning. Marka, good morning to you.
Good morning, O'Neill. Good morning to all of our listeners who have joined us this morning. A lot of things, in fact, two major things happening in the country.
Yes.
Even though there are other things, there are two major ones. One coming from the Supreme Court and the other coming from Nimba.
For your country.
Exactly. So, but yes, we are grateful to come here and talk about some of these things of our audience and provide, our own perspective professionally on these issues. So good morning. Thanks for joining us and welcome to the president. The president came back on yesterday.
Okay.
Yes, from the ECOWAS anniversary celebration in Ghana, where different discussions were held and all of that. So yes, we're grateful to be here this morning. Thanks to all of you for joining us, those online, those following us by radio across the country. Good morning to all of you and to the peaceful, should I say the most peaceful people in the Republic of Liberia, the people of Nimba.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're still anticipating the results coming up.
Yes.
Was it 12.1% of the votes? 12.5?
The one released already?
Oh, yes, released.
Well, the one released already, we are going around 42 point something.
42?
Yes. We
Okay.
reported.
Okay, of the polling places.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
We have reported 314 polling places
Already.
out of 736.
Okay.
Yes. So we're getting there.
All right. Bit by bit. Smiling through confusion is courage. Smiling through tears is strength. Smiling through pain is power. Smiling through tragedy is greatness. The process is over in Nimba, so wait for the final results. Let be law and order in Nimba. Even Liberals and I mean Nima alone. Yes, Bobby Addison with our morning motivation. Thank you. Well, it's great to be right here this morning. Like a lot of things happen. The social media is flooded. The social media is flooded. Good morning, Excellency. Yes. President Boyka, welcome back home, right? Before you do the lineup, I wanted to quote.
I haven't seen anything anyway.
Ready? Not true.
Yeah.
No, that cannot be.
Okay. And yeah.
Oh yeah, you bet. Don't tell me you get it up, man. No, man.
I want
Check.
bet.
You on bet?
I want bet.
No. What? Here is it. Look there. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
You sure? Are we missing my name for difficulties, Nemo? You see?
Okay.
That nigga belly in the hole. Yeah, Abraham Shaw bet.
That's it.
Yeah, man. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning, man. So
Yes, go ahead.
with the lineup, yes. Again, today is April 24th, 2025. This show is partly sponsored by EcoBank Liberia Limited, the Pan African Bank, and Orange Liberia. Health tips come out shortly with David Coty this morning for at least 6 minutes, followed by the review of the local dailies. In our studio chat this morning, NEC announces provisional results from the by-election in Nimba. However, the first provisional result was it is in the lead.
Okay.
The second provisional result it is Koga in the lead with just 128 votes difference.
Okay.
Yes. So the Supreme Court ruling on yesterday recognizing Speaker Fonati Kofa as the legitimate head of the House of Representatives, if you may call it the legitimate presiding officer of the House of Representatives. So we'll talk about that. Why the majority bloc Speaker Kun and his team rejects the Supreme Court ruling, as well as a dissenting opinion from one of the justices on the Supreme Court, the associate justices on the Supreme Court bench, Justice Yamik Bessie. So these are things we'll talk about this morning, and at 8:30 to 9:30, we'll open the lines for interaction. 9:30, we'll bring you sports, entertainment, commercials brought to you by EcoBank and Orange Liberia. 9:30 to 10 o'clock, local mining company won permit from the Ministry of Mines and Energy as Chinese are taking over the sector as the media uh, pushing the awareness of truck drivers' reckless behavior in the traffic. We're calling on the LMP to put in place measures at least to restrict or minimize um, the level of casualties, if you may say, caused by reckless truck drivers, heavy duty drivers in the country. So yes, these are things we'll be talking this morning on the show. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, let's have a wonderful show together.
Yes, great. I want to put this up. This is the Chief Justice, CNN Young, the Attorney General opinion for which the self-star majority bloc is acting on is of no relevance to this court. That's what she said. Another one is coming up. Those of you watching the Facebook, that the conclusion of the Supreme Court opinion and judgment of December 6, 2024, that any sitting or action by the majority bloc respondents to the exclusion of Speaker Fonati Kofa, the duly elected presiding officer of the House of Representatives, while he is present and available to preside, is unconstitutional and without the power of the law. This is Sianayo, the Chief Justice. Those of you watching up on, and by extension, some who have used the bar before, Councillor Charlene Bronskin. Charlene also did a post, and this is Councillor Charlene Bronsky who did a live podcast yesterday. She said, "I cannot believe what I'm seeing on the Facebook, that the higher decision body in the land have made a decision, and people in government officials are going against the Supreme Court ruling." Anyway, we'll talk about that. But those of you online, this is Councillor Charlene Bronskin up on the social media right now. Let's bring our health tip. Derek Coty is right here. I heard he said something about me yesterday. Yeah, he's always doing that. You don't want me to be telling our young man, Derek Coty. Yes. Abbas, hold on. Abbas, hold on. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. O'Neill, and good morning to, am I on?
You on.
Oh, okay. Good morning, Dr. O'Neill, and good morning to Ambassador Davis. It's from the list of Dr. Speaker.
Good morning. But
Yeah,
but
always.
before you move further, you know one thing I've noticed about you.
Uh-huh.
I'm not accusing you directly, right?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
But some people, when they hear discuss people in their back,
Uh-huh.
when they see them in person, the praises they can bring on them.
So Abbas.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah,
veteran,
I'm one
veteran
of
on
those.
you, veteran on
I'm
you.
one of those.
Yeah, you want
I'm one of those.
you want to talk
Uh,
that.
I'm calling him Dr. Oni because he called me young man. Yesterday when he was out there, I told you that for transportation pay, the man got money to buy
Oh,
gas.
oh, really?
I'm sorry.
Let's hear the help to Obey difficulty.
Hey, my brother,
He's
the way
70,
you better tell
he's
money people
72,
to come to work, I will
72
tell
years
you.
old. 72 years old.
The way you better tell money to buy gas, I will tell you. You better change your
Abbas,
mind, young man.
Abbas, if I take you to Tamako, do you remember Tamako? Tamako, when you go there,
God, well,
uh-huh.
that guy used to go and look for cases.
Tamako, Tamako,
Tamako,
Tamako, really how in the city here.
hey, my brother, I knew him very well. Very well.
Okay,
Okay, having
okay.
said,
Yes, go
Mhm.
ahead.
thank you. Medical doctors will tell you that life is in the blood. You will suffer from many serious health conditions if blood is not flowing freely in your body. Because blood carries nutrients and oxygen to every organ and every cell in the body. For example, you will develop stroke if blood is not reaching your brain. Oh yes, you will surely develop stroke. And you will develop heart attack if blood is not reaching your heart muscles. And you will suffer from erectile dysfunction if blood is not reaching your penis, your nut. Now, this whole thing about sex, to discuss sex publicly, let me put it this way. Sex has been a taboo subject for many years in Africa, including Liberia. But this is not good. It's good to talk about so that people can know and know what to do. So when blood flows through your penis or your nut, you will have good erection. But if not, you will not have it. If you don't have blood flowing to your kidney, you will have kidney failure, liver failure, and even your skeleton or your muscles will start to fail. So it is always good to make sure the blood is flowing through all your body. Now, what do you do to make it happen? What are some of those things that you eat to make it happen? Number one, you need to eat these foods. They are backed by science. It's not just something somebody sat there and predicted. These foods I'm about to talk about are backed by science. If you eat them, you have good blood flow, good blood circulation, and your system will work very well. Number one, red grapes. Number two, apples. Number three, avocado or butter pear. But with the butter pear, don't eat more than one a day. Don't mind that irresistible taste, that distinctive taste, and just eat it, but it will cause you problems. Instead of benefiting you, you will suffer. You must also eat mangoes, oranges, kiwi. Well, with the kiwi, I haven't seen it before. I don't know about it, but I will find it. Kiwi, KRWI, is another good thing to find. Strawberries, blueberries, watermelon. Now, with the watermelon, remember, I have told you about it before. The GI is 72. Now, don't mind that sweetness and just keep eating. No, 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 no. Some people say to one place, just divide it in half and swap the whole half. You can do that. Number 10, pomegranate juice. You drink it, it will be very good for you. You do not need to get all of them at the same time and eat them, but get most of them. Remember this. If you have not done your electrocardiography or EKG or heart test, do it today to know the status of your heart. It's important. I've talked about this 1,000 times, and I'll continue to remind you because one person dies every 33 seconds around the world from heart disease. Oh, yes, it's the highest killer. It kills more people than any other thing in the world. 18 million people every year die from heart disease. Now, you could die from heart failure if you haven't checked. Heart failure simply means your heart is not pumping blood properly. Some of you sitting listening to me right now, you are going through heart failure and you don't even know. I give you the signs and symptoms. You're going through it right now, but you don't know because you don't check your heart. You don't do a heart test. Number two, heart attack. Heart attack, you could die from heart attack. Heart attack simply means your blood is not reaching your heart muscles. It's very dangerous. And the worst thing about it, you could have the two of them at the same time. If you suffer from heart attack and heart failure at the same time, it's called mortal morbidity. Two or more life-threatening diseases you suffer from at the same time. Some of you got even three or four serious problems in your body, but you don't know and you don't care. When you drop a diner, they say the people hate the man. No, no, no. Or they hate the woman because she went to China and brought her goose. You lie. The worst thing now, the terrible one that you could die from, the one here is the worst one, is cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest simply means the malfunction of the electricity of the heart. To make it simple for all of us who are not doctors, when your heart stops working or beating. Oh, that one is worse. Once your heart stops beating, forget about life. Okay, it is the heart that can send blood to all of your parts of your body. And if it stops working, you will not live. Do your EKG today. God willing, I will be back.
In the meantime,
In the meantime,
yeah.
I can get out of here.
Okay.
So, yeah. In the
Yeah.
meantime,
Uh
yeah.
huh.
God willing,
Uh huh.
I will be back. But in the meantime, I gotta get out of here. I'm
Okay.
gonna leave a company. I'm gonna play it up here.
Candid by affiliation.
Abbas.
Cause of my affiliation.
Make sure you start to the Supreme Court before going. Abbas.
That's the first question you forget. That thing will not work. Don't let me something on you.
My
It
man.
will not work.
Bye bye. What? No, you for love me, God talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you for love me, God. Who respect the rule of law?
My man.
You gotta get out of here. I'm gonna say that to you, you gotta get out of here. You gotta get out of here.
Cabinet Janet
I gotta get out of here.
was treated badly.
Uh-huh.
But when I guess certain people talk about rule of law, I can get laughing. See, people think we're stupid in this country.
You gotta get out of
You know
here.
about rule of law? You know about rule of law?
I'm about to see you. Yes, difficulty. Yes, let's get a review of the paper right here on the show this morning. Yes, welcome to the TBS. And I love this team song so much. This is Mohanan. Let's get a review of the paper. Our first topic is the front page Africa. The front page of the front page Africa. Boy, guys, JMB rule of law test. That's what is on the front page Africa this morning. Yes, it's captioned rule of law test. President Boyka first test. Yes, it's the Supreme Court decision. Rule JMB rules of law test. And of course, the Chief Justice here, Speaker Kofa, Majority Bloc Speaker Kun, all capture here. Just a boycott. The president is here on the front page. Grab a copy and read the rest of the story. From progress to panic. It's a sub-lead story on front page. Africa, Liberia, 500 million MCC and at risk. What is that? The report of U.S. agencies shut down. From progress to panic. It's on the front page Africa this morning.
Yes, let's go for the Daily Observer. The Daily Observer is next. Liberia's legislative rift widens after Supreme Court ruling, where I'm seeing the Speaker Kofa and the Majority Speaker Kun capture on the front page of the Daily Observer newspaper. The sub-lead story: U.S. MCC's imminent shutdown threatens Liberia's progress. That's the Millennium Challenge Corporation, the Compact. U.S. MCC's imminent shutdown threatens Liberia's progress. There's a sub-lead story on the front page of the Daily Observer newspaper. Still on the front page, Tobert 13 others memorialized 45 years after coup is right here on the back page. That's the front page. Government to host National Intellectual Property Summit. Deputy Minister of State affirms the government's commitment to empowering the creative economy. Let's go to the back page of the Daily Observer. NDC official by-election results fluctuate. The first result yesterday, Edith was in the lead. The second yesterday, Koga is in a slight lead with just 128 vote difference. Finally, on the back page, Boakai commits to building strong health system as Liberia hosts 10th annual Celebrate Lab West Africa Conference Laboratory annual meeting is the final story on the Daily Observer newspaper. Let's
Yes,
go.
go to the Inquirer. I'm trying to, as you're reading, to bring the online. Go ahead.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
let's go for the Inquirer. The Inquirer newspaper. The lead story on the front page: the right affront to constitutional governance. Supreme Court
Mm-hmm.
invalidates Cohn's speakership. But, but what? You and I know the but. The
Mm-hmm.
but is that a majority rejected the ruling, and one of the associate justices deliver a dissenting opinion. The sub lead story: LAA, that's the Liberia Airport Authority and the Liberia Land Authority collaborate to prevent encroachment on RIA facility. Still on the front page: empowering Africa's youth is essential. We're saying that Minister Jala urges global stakeholders. Minister Jala is captured here on the front page of the Inquirer newspaper. Enough is enough. A bold call to action for Liberia's future. U.S. Representative urges lawmakers. This is Representative Nathan Bia
Mm-hmm.
of Rhode Island. He's captured here on the front page of the Inquirer newspaper. Let's go to the back page. The back page: reconciliation progress may require ultimate sacrifice. Copa's final eulogy to speakership. This is question mark. Copa's final eulogy to speakership. No mandate, just law and logic. Justice West's dissent, Supreme Court ruling. I'm seeing the photograph of Associate Justice Yami Bese captured here on the back page of the Inquirer newspaper. Still on the back page:
Mm-hmm.
NEC provisional results put Koga ahead of Gonglo Way. Let's go. This piece here, it says
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Catholic faithful pay their final respects to Pope Francis as public viewing begins at St. Peter's Basilica ahead of his funeral.
Yes.
We continue with
The news. Go to the
the
news.
newspaper.
Yes, I'm trying to
The
put.
front page of the newspaper. The lead story slap in the face of justice. Who is saying this? Justice Wese dissents from colleagues' judgment in speakership dispute. Uh, Boakai celebrates ECOWAS 50th anniversary, recommits Liberia to regional unity. The news turns 36. Commit commitment to speaking the truth. Okay, I think today is the anniversary
Mm-hmm.
of the newspaper. Let's go to the back page. The back page of the newspaper. Ministries of Health, Mines, and Energy reinforce strategic partnership with UNDP. Liberia Council of Churches pays tribute to Catholic Church for the death of Pope Francis. Still on the back page of the newspaper, Prison Fellowship addresses access to justice for youth.
Mm-hmm.
Liberia prepares for World Intellectual Property Day, holds national conference. Well, this is the final story. Grace Kwan condemns media report, says it's a malicious propaganda. The former Monserrato superintendent is captured on the back page of the newspaper. Let's go for the heritage.
Uh, let's. I have
Mhm.
the Independence.
The Independent.
Yeah, the
Okay.
Independence up.
Yeah, let's go for the Independent. The
Mm-hmm.
Independent. The front page of the Independent, Liberia's most investigative newspaper. It says Supreme Court upholds Speaker Kofa's authority, strikes high-hitting blow against majority bloc. I'm seeing the five justices of the Supreme Court bench line up, and on the other side is a larger image of Speaker Fonati Kofa. And in local senatorial race, Edith takes early lead as NEC releases first results. That has flipped anyway. Pay the long delayed media debts. This is the editorial of the Independent.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the editorial. Pay the long delayed media debts.
Okay.
Final ruling. What did the Supreme Court say? This is question mark. Breaking news. It says Kuhn rejects Supreme Court ruling. Let's go to the back page of the Independent. The back page, empowerment for over 100,000 adolescent Liberian girls. Who is here? UN resident coordinator to Liberia, Madam Christine Omotoni, is captured here on the back page. Still on the back page, government begins technical training for performance management and compliance. This is Minister Sylvester Grisby. Right here, Representative Famula gives first legislative report outlines gains and challenges for the Fambule District 7 Bond County is here. And finally,
Mm-hmm.
a tribute to Pope Francis is in the independent newspaper. This paper is sold for just is it 40 or 50?
$40.
Yes, 40 Liberian dollars. You can grab a copy and read details of these stories if you have interest in them.
Yeah, so last but not the least, just do the in profile. Don't call it a day.
Yes, the
The
improfile.
in
The
profile.
improfile, yes, the
Those of you
improfile.
watching on the Facebook, this is the in profile. Yeah.
Yes, the
Yes.
improfile daily, the Thursday edition. Legitimacy versus majority. This is the airline. The lead story on the front page is legitimacy versus majority. I'm seeing Speaker Kofa on the other side, the majority bloc, Speaker Kun on the other side, and President Joseph Boakai in the middle with the Temple of Justice at the back.
Mm.
And then just beneath the three of them are the five justices of the Supreme Court.
Mm.
And the sub-lead story, Justice Bessie disagrees with ruling, says amended bit of information came through a back door. Where I'm seeing the associate justice here with his hand on his head.
Mm. Mm.
We have received dozens of complaints, filed them with NEC. Edith Gonglower says that. Let's go to the back page of the Improfile Daily. The back page. The back page. AFL completes Operation True Guardian. This is on the back page. Waka reaffirms commitment to regional unity, and UNDP cabinet strengthening partnership is another story. Monrovia Technology Summit begins. And this final story, LMA reject CEO science allegation, is the final story for the review of the local dailies this morning.
Yes, catch your breath.
Yes, I need to. It's too much.
Yes, man. Thank you so much.
And like you normally say, breathe in, breathe out.
Yeah, breathe in, breathe out. There go the ain't no other one. Yes, this is the TBL. Thank you so much. It's brought to you by Orange Echo Bank. The Prime African Bank is proud to be associated with the breakfast show this morning. And my Bruin, good morning to all of you listening. Our president, good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning, His Excellency, the president. I want to start off with the president this morning. His Excellency, the father of the land. The father of the land. You know, the national anthem of England is All Hail the King. Long live the king. Always you see those, in the UK will say, long live the king, long live the king. Will say, long live Joseph Boykai. I'm saying this morning to you, our father of the land, the president. As part of your RS agenda, the R is there. Respecting for the rule of law. His Excellency, I'm a bit disappointed with some of your officials. The Supreme Court is the highest decision body of any country. And when the Supreme Court makes a decision, if the decision is not being respected, then that land have no law. That country is even at risk. The country investor will be scared to even come in. When the Supreme Court, let me bring it down to the lower man. If the Supreme Court ruled and said, let's demolish this home here, and you see people crying. The last time the Congo time, everybody crying, oh, but whom going? Oh, they demolish it. The police officers are there making sure they enforce it. That is a decision. The Supreme Court decision yesterday, the international community, the whole world. Do you know that Ghana have suspended her Chief Justice, the president? Yes, Ghana suspended the Chief Justice, and their argument. But like your own, the international world watching us say, okay, this case that have been dragging all along for months, and yesterday was the D-Day that the court ruled. I want to put us here in your good morning. She said two powerful things: that the Attorney General opinion, self-styled majority bloc is acting. It has no relevance to this court. I want the Minister of Justice, the Marka, is going to come up with his own. I just want to say this. I'm looking at the part of our investors. If investors want to come in, I'm not going to call the public official name. The guy commented on the social media and said, who cares if investors don't come in this country? Good morning, His Excellency. You're the father of the land. The Supreme Court have ruled. If this is not being respected, no investor want to come to your country. That is going to run on an international wire that the higher decision body in the land had done a ruling, and the government said no. Would want an investor want to come in? It will scare people away. And some of the public officials have said we're not going to listen to the ruling. Even the majority bloc speaker in less than 1 hour rejected the Supreme Court ruling. Amen. There are many calls now saying the president should step in, whether it's interference or not interference. There should be some backdoor conversation to save the face of this one country, this sorrowful country we call Liberia. If the Supreme Court ruled in a case that will affect the common man, that decision will stand. The decision is the decision. Yeah, man.
Yes. Again, O'Neill, I think this thing has dragged on for a long time, more than half a year. This thing started in October, come to as far as nearly the end of April. That is almost 7 months. Um, Again, it has been difficult over the period of time, but the Supreme Court has ruled, and after the Supreme Court's ruling, there have been different reactions, some from lawyers, some from politicians, some from government officials, some from independent minds. I don't know whether you would take them as independent minds, but on a very larger scale, people like Councillor Charlene Bromskin, somebody would say, well, she was a vice presidential candidate in the 2023 elections. But on the overall, people see her posture, her writings, her comments as someone who is somehow independent in her thoughts. So these people have said different things about the court's ruling, but we believe that this thing need to be laid to rest. And I captured something from Speaker Kofa's press conference on yesterday when he said the first thing is to reach out to Deputy Speaker Fala and Representative Kun to see if we can set up a reconciliation and transitional committee, right? So, two key words to consider: reconciliation and transitional committee. What does that mean? Does that mean we are transitioning from where to where? Reconciliation means that all that has happened over the period of time as majority bloc and minority bloc, we have one way or the other hurt each other either with our words or our actions, and there is a need for us to reconcile and move the house forward. That will be one of the mandates of the committee that he is proposing to be set up. And the other one, he said transitional committee. And he mentioned in the same press statement that at some point in time, there will be sacrifices made, and he's willing. And he said he is not unwilling to make sacrifice. I think the majority bloc were giving it a little bit of time and see the engagements before coming out outright
with the release
to reject the ruling of the Supreme Court. The first thing that statement does to the majority bloc is that we agree the House of Parliament is political and legal as well. But the first thing that statement has done is that it has increased public sentiment and some level of public resentment to the majority bloc. You know, the first thing that happened over the period or over the course of this impasse is that a lot of ordinary Liberians who do not even understand whether the legislative politics or the legality surrounding the removal of a speaker, the first they got angry because the first thing is that they believe that the majority bloc did not take the right path in removing the speaker. So there was some level of anger towards them already. Now this thing has been dragging. Liberians are frustrated over it. The better information being holding up for some time. Now the Supreme Court comes up and make the decision. and then just in an hour time, the same majority black that is suffering some public sentiment come out outright and say we reject this. Under no circumstance will allow Speaker Kofa to preside. I think that statement was a blow in the face of the rule of law, in the face of justice,
Mhm.
and I think it will deal them some blow because firstly they will get the outrage from the public.
So it's like this communication was prepared already. That's how I sense it.
Yeah.
This response for the
Mhm.
majority block, this communication was well prepared because in less than 1 hour, this release just came out.
Yes. So again, somebody will say in a shorter period of time, Speaker Kofa came out with his press statement, and after the press statement, some minutes or maybe around about half an hour, then the majority block came out with their press statement. But again, we want to believe that it is important that we respect the institutions that we have set up in this country to do specific functions. For example, the judiciary, headed by the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice. We've said, and the Constitution said that this is the final decision maker in legal and especially constitutional matters in the country. So, what happens if we start to challenge this body's decision? Its function given by the Constitution. That means, in the first place, we are disrespecting the Constitution and we are rendering the judiciary irrelevant, which we should not do.
Yeah, so far cited Darius Dillon. Dillon was one of the person that was quizzed on yesterday. I'm about to play Senator Darius Dillon voice. I'm saying the Supreme Court decision must be respected.
So, let me learn.
Yeah, you're learning, right?
Yeah, let me
Okay,
learn my
go
thought.
ahead. Mhm.
So, while we understand the political implications and the legal implications, we want to call on all sides in this matter to respect the ruling of the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Yes, that's what we can say. Let's respect the ruling of the Supreme Court. I don't know whether there can be any challenge to this ruling again, but what I know is that the Supreme Court has made a final decision. Let bygone be bygone. Let's sleep in the law. Let's see if Speaker Kofa as he said, reach out to your colleagues. Let's see if you can convince to set up the committee, reconcile the house, and whatever other action that can be taken. Let's move the country forward. We can hold the country hostage.
Okay, yes, we can hold the country hostage. So Dillon was quizzed on yesterday. He said the House or Senate is going to do business with the recognized from the court. Let's play that into Darius Dillon voice. People say, well, Dillon was fast to talk. I think he did the rightful thing. Let's have Senator Dillon audio play. So this is Dillon Raya, right? Fonanti Kofa, the Supreme Court ruling is clear. Fonanti Kofa is the speaker. Dillon, not change on this one. I'm sure you're on record for this. Yeah, let me give you a play again. So for those of you who miss it out, this is Dillon. Yeah, so close to the pro tem. Fonanti Kofa is the speaker. The Supreme Court ruling is clear. Yes, and he walked away. So,
But yes, Senator Magio singing.
the cherry squad, the guy recitation they were saying the Supreme Court decision is clear. Fonanti Kofa is the speaker, so the Senate will act in accordance.
Now, the next thing is on you. Now that the Supreme Court has ruled, reaffirming or affirming the legitimacy of Councillor Kofa as Speaker of the House, there are other critical things that now we need to look at. Number one, coming from the side of the Senate, what action will the Senate take after the Supreme Court's ruling? Will the Senate continue to work with the majority bloc? I listened to Senator Snow last night. He was clear that the Senate is going to now have a meeting and they will be clear that they will stand by what the Supreme Court has said, meaning they will stop doing business with the majority bloc and do business with the recognized Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
That is what Senator Snow said.
On last night.
Oh, yes.
So he just added to what Senator Dillon had also said.
Yeah, so So
Looking up to the executive will be interference. This is why people call on the president now, the father of the land, to come in.
well, again, this is for me. I don't think it's very critical now because um, the Supreme Court is the founder decider of some of these constitutional and legal issues, or of all constitutional and legal issues in the country. They've made a decision. There are three equal and coordinate branches of government. So if this branch of the government has performed its function in line with the constitution, I think it would just be appropriate that the executive, respecting and coordinating with the other branch of government, listen to what the Supreme Court has said.
Mhm.
Yes. So firstly, I think it will start with the Senate. The Senate should start to do business with the recognized presiding officer of the House of Representatives. But again, the challenge will also be that Speaker Kofa must do all he can to have quorum to do the work of the Liberian people. Again, the rule says, or the constitution says, if he cannot have quorum to conduct business, he should adjourn from day to day and compel the other members to come under his jurisdiction or his authority
Mm.
to conduct the Liberian people's business. But the rules of the House and the Constitution did not say how will he compel these people to come. This is where we are, and moreover, well, we don't know what the negotiations are, but moreover, um, in order for you to take action such as suspension or expulsion, which someone would say, well, if the majority members refuse to come to work, maybe the speaker will have the authority to take other punitive action or measures against them. Well, before you take punitive action or punish anybody from the house, that decision have to be made by plenary, which is the simple majority that makes quorum.
Yeah.
Again, this is critical, but I think what Speaker Kofa said. You want to play his voice? What Speaker Kofa said is very important, that there should be a reconciliation or and transitional committee set up to see how they can move the house forward. That is very important.
Very important. So I want to play something. I want to say
Okay.
good morning to Richard Kuhn. Good morning to you, the entire people of District 11. He's the face of District 11.
Mhm.
You came from the classroom. I think you're still in the classroom teaching. Respecting the rule of law is something very important at this critical time in our country. I want to play that you gave me the audio. In fact,
Mhm.
um, Muhammad, who
Mhm.
considered to John Muhammad, he said
That's
something.
Mahmudu Bawumia.
Bamumia,
Yes.
yes. He said Ghana is more important than any other individual.
Mhm.
So I just want to play this and remind, then I'll get the Fonanti voice. Maybe we'll get the lines activated.
Mhm.
Our most important assets. Ghana is more important than our individual political ambitions.
You heard that? At this point, at this crucial, maybe I can give this a play again.
Mhm.
Yes, Ghana is more important than our individual
Political ambition.
political ambitions. Yes, Liberia is more important.
Ghana is more important than our individual political ambitions.
We'll stop it right there, right?
Yeah.
Let's get to Fonati Kofa voice. Then, of course, we'll get the lines activated.
Sure.
Where's the regrouping man? We're seeing him. Yes, but is there regrouping?
Okay.
But let's make Speaker Kofa voice. That will get the lines open up for you this morning.
We affirm and upheld the rule of law in what has been termed the legislative impasse. As we have pledged, the ruling of the court will be our last hostile, and the court has ruled, effectively recognizing that our leadership holds the constitutional mandate of the first branch of government, and we welcome that ruling. We are truly grateful to God who has given us the strength over the past 6 months to endure the endurable and suffer the insufferable. To my colleagues who have stood up for the rule of law, a great peril to their political and financial lives, my sincere salute. Societies become great when ordinary men and women rise up to do extraordinary things. Today you walk into history with the wind at your back and the thanks of a grateful nation. To the hundreds of thousands of Liberians here and around the world who on bended knees prayed with us, texted a word of encouragement. Held us up lest we fall, and believed in us. We are truly grateful. Without you, this advancement in our democracy would not have been possible. We will always remember, we will always be proud, and we will always be your servants. To our colleagues on the other side, we identify with your just grievances and call on you to join us and end the stalemate at Capitol Hill. Come, let us reason together. In the words of President John F. Kennedy, remembering on both sides that civility is not a sign of weakness and sincerity is always subject to proof. Let us not negotiate out of fear, but let us not fear to negotiate. I will reach out to Deputy Speaker Thomas Fowler and Honorable Richard Kuhn so that we establish a joint reconciliation and transitional committee. I am not unmindful that reconciliation and progress will require that I make the ultimate sacrifice.
Okay. Yes, to make the ultimate sacrifice. Well,
May require
to make the ultimate.
reconciliation may require that I made the ultimate sacrifice.
Probably the sacrifice could say, well, he resigned as speaker. Who knows? Anyway. Yes, let's get the lines activated. This is the TBS 961 O'Neill Marka this morning 077 153 265. The social media is flooded this morning. You won't believe it.
Yes, different opinions,
Yes.
different views, and
Yes.
another thing. I saw another one from one of the former commissioners of the defunct Truth and Reconciliation Commission, was that John Stewart, and all of that. But we moved.
Where's Council of Obama? Good morning to the bar.
Oh, cancel the bar will come up.
The bar.
The bar will come
Now,
up.
I want to see all the releases now.
I know the bar is going to have a press conference either today, latest today. Yeah.
And the law school, those of you at Louis Arthur Grant School or the other law school, when the Supreme Court rules, and good morning to all those who doing laws in this country, how do you feel? If it's not respected, hey man, let's go to the line, man.
The first thing, most of them will go and watch the argument, and then they will go and follow the ruling and all of that one. Yes, I don't want to call some of their names.
Yeah, but Charlene Bronsky's video is actually trending. She said she felt she can't believe what she's seeing on Facebook.
Yes, 0770202579. Let's be short, polite, and straight to the point. No too much pleasantry. Veteran, ambassador, all that one. Let's just go straight to the point and talk about what we've been talking this morning, clearly, and 1 minute each, please.
Yes, let's see who can go to this person and pick our very first call on the line. Yes, morning.
Good morning, President O'Neill, and let me say good morning to Ambassador Marka as well to those following the broadcast. My name is Aloysius P. Flomo Jr., and I'm coming this morning from District 2 in Lower Miami County. I'm constrained to call this morning. I'm not too well, Marka, this issue that has to do with our country, especially when it comes to the rule of law, it is something that should draw all of us attention. The thing in past, in the past month observed that it caused some devastating, posture at the House of Representatives, even with the burning down of that particular joint chamber. Today, the Supreme Court has come out with a clear interpretation of what they came out with months ago. And we are calling on our representatives, the 73 of them. When the Liberian people were going to the poll to vote in 2023, there is no one of them that was voted to be, speaker. We voted you to go and serve as representative. So we want them to put aside their personal ego. Yes, Bonati has been declared as the legitimate speaker by law, but he don't have that majority number.
Okay. Yes, a minute per call. Yes, let's do that. Good morning.
Good morning. Let me say good morning to Marka TV.
Morning.
I'm calling from District 4, and this is the voice of Akwe Ebu Senior. Let me also say a pleasant good morning to the people from the Musa Assembly. Only on yesterday, we witnessed something in this country I think that will go down in history. I say this to say, Onu, when the Supreme Court did her
I mean, just say it, man. This people to know better. What kind of statement is that? So the associate justice who start on the bench and disagree with your colleagues to what you say to him. So just make your statement. Mm. Yeah, man.
Interesting.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, people, Marka.
Morning.
Yeah, okay, my name is Moses Diana, joining from my area president. Okay, to the Supreme Court ruling, as we all know, people, Marka, that the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of justice within this country. And whereas when they come up with anything, we must respect it. And I lost because Kofa, let me say, the speech where he said that we all have concluded that the Supreme Court ruling would be our bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then now the Supreme Court have come out, but the majority they are coming up again to say they not agree or what and so. Then they are the United Party, I believe. They are the United Party, and the speaker who is there, who is calling himself speaker, is the United Party. And in their arrest agenda, one of the hour there is rule of law. So me, what I can say, I just want to tell the president this morning, you came up with arrest agenda. Please, in that arrest agenda, we have rule of law. Please tell your men or your boss or your guys, whoever I can call them, that my man in our
People just get problem in the country.
Please, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Okay, you spell the arrow. Interesting. Yes. Morning.
Good morning, O'Neill. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Marka and a pleasant good morning to the schools of my brother and broadcast this morning. Welcome back, and I hope the same Nima was awesome.
Okay. Just hold on.
Feature of the Chief Breakfast Show. Only quickly, I want to speak on the issue of the ruling of the Supreme Court. O'Neill, the Supreme Court didn't do what justice on yesterday. In my view, I think the answer of which our time yesterday, because what I think is that the two groups of people, the minority and the majority, they are going back to the same old thing.
So I would disagree with your comment about Supreme Court wasting our time. They were performing their constitutional duty, and they did so.
I mean, now your host is showing the future.
If anybody did respect the Supreme Court's ruling, then that person should be asking question
why you want to disrespect? So if the Liberia National Police come up the ruling in that fire burning of the Capitol building, should we disagree with the police investigation or the report? Should we say no?
Now, what I'm trying to say is here, the Supreme Court, all the action of law by the majority black is illegal. There was the same illegal budget that the Supreme Court have been receiving for 2025.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Go ahead. You got a call? Yes.
Yeah, we got a caller here on the private number. I hope. Good morning.
Good morning, O'Neill. Good morning, Marka.
Why is the number on private and you are here in Liberia?
My phone was built with my phone. Sorry.
Correct.
Okay. Your name? Where you join us from?
This is Anders Jones.
Okay. Go ahead.
I would like to ask a question to Rachel. Is anybody in the Republic of Nigeria involved in the Supreme Court ruling? Nobody is above the Supreme Court ruling. The Supreme Court has come down with a final ruling that Fulani Kofa is the legitimate speaker of the House. So, Rachel need to respect the rules of law. That's one of their rules. I think the arrest. They need to respect the rules of law. The Supreme Court has come down with a ruling that Fulani Kofa is the legitimate speaker. So, let him abide by the rules and work along. Is it for him to be speaker? No. If they was wanting, they will vote him. When the financial term is over, but let him respect the rules of the Supreme Court. That's my own contribution.
Thank you so much for your contribution and thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Marka.
Morning, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Kamara calling from tomorrow. O'Neill, if I tell you how my heart is free and open and clear this morning. You will not believe the kind of Labrador citizen I am today. Today is one of the happiest days in my life. For yesterday, Wednesday, ruling from the Supreme Court. I want to just say a big thanks to the Chief Justice Justice Young and Janet Clinton Johnson and the rest of them for bringing freedom to this country. Now we're hearing yesterday that the former illegal speaker rejected the court ruling. But only let me just give you a short parable. You know that a pro in a song the call spring pro. I don't know the scientific name or it was spring pro, right? When spring pro want to die by heavy weight of the collar back, they can jump with high speed. But if this thing is a waiting right, sometimes you can catch it alive. But Richard Coon, let him observe his authority. Let him observe the constitution of this country. In the absence of that, from 1979 up to 2003, let him just observe, what all happened in this country, we don't want to repeat. Because some of us, sitting here, my youth days, where I'm supposed to achieve higher level of education and help my family and my children of this country, they working and damage everything in our hands. Some of all different people in the country destroy everything around us. We don't want Richard Boone, not a spring fraud that was
Okay, thank you. They are spring fraud parables there, giving me a time. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka, and good morning, Bobby. My name is how I call you saying this with only the good weather. Marka, let me appreciate the Supreme Court. Article 66 of the Code of says the Supreme Court is a father at the top of law. And for the Supreme Court, he can say you go to hell or you go to hell. So I'm asking Honorable Court and the rest of the honor, please.
But you can't even go to ECOWAS court. ECOWAS came here to negotiate. People didn't listen to ECOWAS. So how you go back to ECOWAS court?
Yes, take some of that.
Let's see. Let's go to the island now and bring on Beto from the island.
Yeah, good morning, O'Neill.
Morning.
And good morning to my brother Marka.
Morning, brother.
Funny way to get out. Good morning.
Never may been calling you get out yet. Go ahead, you're alive.
Yeah. Thank you for picking my call. I heard that the president is now back in country. So I want to believe since yesterday the Supreme Court ruling, when the president came, he got the ruling. So I want to believe, but now the president should have taken action. He's the one we're depending on now to take action. But now the president should have taken action by taking all Richard Coon or Representative Richard Coon detail, security detail from him. We are watching the president. We are watching him. Now we are watching him. We know say only President Marka now can solve this problem for us.
Okay.
On his part, then we say this thing now will solve our own problem. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning with you. Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
This thing is very simple. If we get all the accept all majority pressure, we get it something good. It's simple. Let's go hit it. Well, like we want to go with the and speaker. So if you get all of the some people say you get that fire with it. That is not really. The law is the law.
Okay. The law is the law. Let's go to this line. Pick this caller. Right here this morning. This is the Truth Breakfast Show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Marka. Yeah, this is Yako.
Go ahead, Chief.
Yes, sir. It will be enjoyable the morning to come to basic. Okay. Welcome back on this one. Right? Gentlemen, for me, I applaud the Supreme Court yesterday for their ruling. I think it's welcoming for this nation Liberia, especially at this point in time where we have too many thugs around town. But I just want to call on Representative Coon to respect the ruling. And as Speaker Cooper said, he went to town hall so they can settle the transitional team. I think that's just the alone for the Cooper is a sign of someone who wants the country to be arrested, so to say. But if Representative Coon will want to reject the Supreme Court ruling, then I think the next thing that will happen will be a citizen action. Which of course we don't want to do that. But let's just abide by the Supreme Court ruling and let it go to be peaceful.
Okay. Yes, thank you. So I agree with you because I think they should give Speaker Kofa the benefit of the doubt, sit with him on a round table and listen what he wants to say. But to just come outright and say, we don't agree, we'll not succumb to this and that. I have some problem with that, seriously. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, go ahead.
Morning, this is someone calling from Pipiano.
Thank you.
I just want to add my voice to that caller who said he's very much delighted this morning. I too very much delighted that the Supreme Court have come up with a ruling and a just one. I want for Sponati Kofa to hold his position, stands as the speaker. He should not resign because if he resigns, the country will be lawless. As I said before, we are talking about spiritual matter, and God is only helping us in this situation so that because when the country is lawless, everybody doing their own thing in the realm of the spirit, it will be bad. They should honor things and forget about it. Say, I know it's shameful. And he was very much hasty to come up with a decision, with that kind of quick decision. I mean, as a leader and mature person, he should have done that. He should have put a peace and listen to what will happen before you can come up and you know what to do. When you have come up to your friend, and when people begin to start talking now, to be further statement now, it will be okay.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like I stated earlier. Mm-hmm.
He should have put his peace and not to speak, so hastily. But to ask Simon to forgive his he can do it, truly, and to be okay for us.
Okay. Yeah, let them give Speaker Kofa the benefit of the doubt. Let them go and sit around the round table and hear from him what he intends to do.
Thank you very much. Exactly. That is what needs to be done.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us from Wave Grand Bassa County. Good morning.
Good morning, Luca. My name is Charles, the line of Wave of Israel. I don't know why you were started wanting to go to the law. Look, big role of political power. Okay? It's now that the president got to take a stand and start withdrawing all those guys, all those stuff from Richard Coon. Richard was not born to be on Speaker of the House. He Fulani went for a vote, Fulani beating and rebelled and overthrew his men. Now Fulani used the law and the law won him. So let it be civil enough and give more power to Fulani Kuba. We don't need no chaos in the country. We look up to our president, Joseph Walker, who spent for some years in government. He is experienced enough. So let him not take the gavel and tell a man ready to get one side. It is now for Fulani. Let's move back to section and give Fulani the business of the town. Let him express himself. Thank you.
Thank you. Akwe Eboe Senior. I don't know where is the junior. Good morning.
I don't think it was a student recognition, and I was on the line, and I think we went up shortly. But Marka, I don't make my point. On yesterday, what happened, it will go down in history. I say this to say, always call on the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court did her first ruling. We as Liberians, we said no. The Supreme Court is leaving everyone in doubt. The Supreme Court needs to be clear. They need to come. So, if you are wrong, say you are wrong. If you are right, say you are right. And I think the Supreme Court listened to the cries of the Liberian people. On yesterday, this was very emphatic, calling on Mufulati Kofa as the legitimate so-called coming up to the Nigerian people and saying that he will not respect the ruling of the Supreme Court, I think in my mind that is something that is very divisive, that is discriminatory, that is something that is even very disrespectful to the people of Liberia, not just the Supreme Court. Because my people and people who come from the majority, they were able to come with a council their lawyer. When these things were being presented to the court, they sent a lawyer to the court to stand in their defense. So they are going to come up to say to the Liberian people you will not respect the ruling. If you know fully well you will not respect the ruling, why did you send a lawyer to plead your case? For the fact that you send a lawyer to plead your case or to stand in your defense, it means you have already recognized the power filed against you to the Supreme Court. So since you send a lawyer and the lawyer could not defend you adequately to win the case for you,
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So,
Yes, yeah. As you try in the queue, I want to play Charlene's voice a little bit. Go ahead.
okay, let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. My name is Raymond Oscar Rabbi, and I'm calling. I'm a neighbor anywhere tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, all the long time you stay on this line, you went up again. I don't know why, but this Joseph person has been calling forever. Let me see if we can talk to this person. Good morning.
good morning, Marka, and let me say good morning to from you.
Morning.
Thank you. For me, based on the way,
You want to tell us your name?
yeah, I'm Joseph and I joined from ESW.
Okay.
Yeah, so based on the way that Honorable Poon spoke, perhaps I want to insinuate that there was a prior backing given him by one of the highest up. Because there is no reason why, if I am Marka, if you should have read the speech made by Kofa, but the inside are giving you the authorization to reject the code ruling. Kofa is already settled down for reconciliation and transition. So, if you say no to it, still that you're not the speaker, so maybe the next got from a package from somewhere, and by now I think the president should muster the courage to say not because of one region code, one of the arrows in my arrest agenda will be disrespected for this country to be brought to public ready.
You think this can undermine the entire RS agenda?
It is. There is no doubt about it. So, but still, the president can still make a comeback.
Okay.
By refusing region Namweko, a rejection and upholding the Supreme Court, ruling and calling for Nafi Kofa to do the honorable thing.
Okay. Yeah,
Thank you.
let's wait there. I want to play a very renowned, respected lawyer in our land, Councilor Charlene Brunskin. She had us, please stop calling me, man. She had this short podcast last night, not more than 5 minutes. So I'm going to play this out. So those of you trying to call, just hold the call. I want to play Charlene's voice for you to listen what she said last night. She said, I can't believe what I'm seeing on Facebook. But it's interesting also going on Facebook, post and see some of the officials going against the Supreme Court ruling. Let's listen.
I'm coming with a heavy heart today because I have been following the attacks on the Honorable Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia. And as a counselor of law in Liberia, it is my duty to protect you who are consumers of the law, right? To make sure that everything I do as a lawyer is done with ethics, is done with integrity, so I protect those who are consumers of justice. Equally so, we who are lawyers are called to protect purveyors of the law, those who engage in the commodities of the law, including the Supreme Court. I have seen the denigration, the disrespect, the derogatory comments made about one of the three branches of government. And we sit in this country and we don't say, what? We act like it is okay. Our society is declining more and more and more. And those of us who know better sit here and just allow it to happen. We don't speak, maybe for fear, who knows what. But at some point in time, we have to let the young people know that this is wrong. No one, nobody, especially not appointed or elected officials in one branch of government, should be disrespecting and denigrating another branch of government. There is a way to express your thoughts. Freedom of speech is necessary, but you are a reflection of the president. You in the executive branch, you are a reflection of our CEO, the president of Liberia. That's your boss. You speak on his behalf. How are you making your president look in the region? I'm not talking about in Liberia because people are monitoring us. How is an appointed official denigrating, denigrating the Supreme Court of Liberia? You are making your boss man to look bad to his counterparts in the region. Stop it. And Liberians, stop going underneath their posts and liking it and encouraging it. The place where Paul said, you're not saying you won't need to be worried about how you pay tuition tomorrow. You need to be worried about which clinic you will take your child to when your child gets sick. Somebody like you authority to go. You don't put your hand on ratio. Do not go under nobody's Facebook post and be liking any disrespect to the Supreme Court. That Auntie Charlene telling you they want now, not Pastor Bronsky talking. Stay from the people in business, that people business. What they're doing is wrong. And we have to talk to the young people. Do better. Not everything is about your political party. Not everything needs to be political. The rule of law allows the Supreme Court to make determinations. I beg you, Papa. Let's live better in the country. And those of us who know better, let's try to teach the young people. You stay off Facebook. Do not go and post on anybody's post. Don't like it. Don't.
Okay, I think we took a legal path on it, right? Yes, Councillor Charlene Bronskin. So don't like it. Women Peter say no. You say, you're making the president look so ugly. That's what she's saying. Anyway, so let's pick a few more calls that will bring us post this morning at 9:15. We'll bring us post right here. But let's get a few more calls coming through.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Good evening, Marka.
Mm.
My name is John Smith. I'm calling you from the Marshall Bell.
Okay.
I called this morning because I called with a heavy heart. My country, Liberia, place that I was born and raised. You know, what came out of the Supreme Court yesterday, every Liberian heard it. The Supreme Court is the last decision making of our legal system in this country. And I'm calling on all of the players, including my fellow Liberians, especially from the church where I come from. This is a time that we will put our country first. This is a time that we will look at Liberia to be our only common denominator. This is a time that we should come together. Let's put away our differences. I'm appealing to all of those players, whether it's Honorable Kuhn, it's Honorable Kofa. I appeal to you guys to come together and let there be peace in our land, so that whatever you will do today, it will be written in our history, and our generation to come will look at it. It is my plea. I'm pleading to all of the churches in Liberia. It is a time to put our knees on the ground and pray for our country, that our leaders will reason, our leader will reconcile, and a co-decision will be taken and be adhered to. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me just quote from British Africa. Tension between the Liberian legislature and the judiciary reached a boiling point yesterday. Bon County District 2 Representative James Colette issued a sting warning of impeachment, warning to members of the Supreme Court, threatening possible impeachment proceeding. Can you imagine this? After the ruling, James Colette has been quoted by Front Page Africa this morning. A sting warning to members of the Supreme Court bench that threatening possible impeachment proceedings. Wow.
Good morning.
Oh, yes. Good morning, Marka. Good morning, O'Neill. Thank you for taking my call. You know, I don't know whether or not the House of Representatives is actually going to ever implement what they are there for. Now, the highest court in the land has made a decision. Okay, their responsibility now is to sit with the speaker from Atikofa and decide on the next step. Instead of challenging this process, how can we be sitting down waiting for them to do the work that we assigned them to do? We voted for these people, we put them there, and all we get is chaos. I was expecting these guys to respect the Supreme Court's decision. I was also expecting them to at least meet, like the speaker said he want to meet with these people so that they can decide on what to do. But they actually saying we cannot meet with this guy. We're not doing any kind of work anymore. We just want to stick with our guns, and then we have to abide by what we say. That's not what we put in there. I just want you guys to understand that I truly appreciate you bringing us these different kind of news and these important news. And we are going to stand by and get ready for these people to understand that they're for us and not for themselves. Thank you for taking my call.
Okay,
thank you.
Yes, so just two more. Got two more to go.
All right.
Yes.
Let me take this one.
Someone posted say on social media, someone in government appointed a government official if investor like let us stay away. Hey man, can you imagine this? This kind of post on the social media. If investor like let us stay away. It's a very and it's trendy on the social media. Good morning, our president, the father of the land.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Marka, thank you so much for picking my call. Marka, as I was saying earlier, it is time for the president for the senior elder to take charge of the country. It is time for our to bring those people. There was some of our message, let Bishop Marka, President Sumuwari, and Kahuma Kone. But those are who stood for the sake of the country. Today you saw the former defense minister when the Supreme Court at the end he lost that position.
Oh, senatorial position.
Yeah, Brendan Samuka, you're right. Yes, the Supreme Court ruled against him.
He saw Kabila Jari lost the position in honors. Yeah, when the company spoke, he gave the ruling. Why you left it on now? They couldn't even claim and because the Supreme Court should be the final arbiter. It is true, and it continued for restoration of power. When you go, where you go? You go to the Supreme Court, they interpret the law. So I'm asking for the court and the rest of the honor. Please let them but it's still a very cool. We are sorry. It's time for the government to work to complete when God shall not do anything. We're not getting an IFA, and the government will still only read under the summer. Thank you so much this morning.
Thank you. Just hang up. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much. I'm Okola Kuma, calling from the Duguro Belt. Yeah, you know, for me, this is not surprising. It's not surprising to me because even the statement from Representative Kun, I believe that statement, it was premeditated. Those guys are already crafted that statement and it was there. You know, for you to react to the Supreme Court ruling within less than 1 hour, it shows that for me, I'm not surprised because it tells clearly that these guys, their intentions are not clear for this country. Because if their intention was clear, I mean, going to the Supreme Court, they have legal representatives. So now for the Supreme Court to come over ruling and then they are going contrary, it beats my imagination. I saw the ball.
Okay. So, only as we take sports, in my final comment on this issue, and thank God, Emmett reminded. You see, in society and the life that we live, always expect the ups and the downs. There will be, disappointments in life, and sometimes you set targets and goals and you will fall short. Imagine a man won a whole senatorial seat. Brandon Samuka, in recent history, the man won a whole senatorial seat, and somebody would say in a common way he was arm twist of that seat, and the Supreme Court ruled that, well, you can't get a seat because you were convicted, this, that. And because of the Supreme Court, Brandon Samuka is a very popular person, very popular in Lofa, across Lofa. It could be someone who say, okay, I'm not taking a seat.
The whole country.
Yeah, my people are Lofa, you can also. If I'm taking a seat, nobody taking it. He was said that, right? The man said, well, the Supreme Court has ruled. And he let it be. Now, Councillor Kabina Jane, sitting on the Supreme Court bench, impeached when even other legal luminaries said this procedure to remove this man from the Supreme Court bench is wrong. And when the Senate convicted him, he went to the same court, he was removed. He even went to the ECOWAS community court, and the community court said the Liberian government will run to remove you. He said, well, the Supreme Court ruled, and that was it. The man lost a whole seat. Now, for them, it was not like to say they lost it altogether. Brandon Samga lost his senatorial seat forever, and Councillor Kabina Jane was removed from the bench. He didn't stay there, and even a benefit, he didn't get it today. Now, for this one, majority former Speaker Kun, you know, this thing happened in crisis, right? Now, the same Supreme Court that ruled that Brandon Semoga is not senator today, the same Supreme Court that ruled that Kabina Jane is not associate justice today, the same Supreme Court has ruled. So all you do is return to status quo. Status quo is go back as representative of District 11. At least for your own, you're not leaving the legislature totally.
He's still there.
And you understand? That was Brandon was not senator. Cabinet was not on the bench anymore. But for you, you will remain as representative in the House of Representatives, but you will not be speaker. That is all. So I beg your indulgence, and I'm not supposed to be begging you, because by the matter of fact that the Supreme Court, the final arbiter of justice in the country, has ruled, you are obliged to go by what the court says, because others did so. Now you go and say that our Liberian winner, the same way this is Charlie was speaking to us
in a colloquial way.
Yes, you go and sit around the table in the first place. I don't say in session.
And you come back to us.
I don't say in session. You go, Deputy Speaker Fala, Mr. Kun, you go and sit down on one table. You have man-to-man discussion and hear from Speaker Kofa firsthand what are his plans following the Supreme Court's ruling, since he said this was going to be his last bus stop. He talked about setting up a committee for reconciliation, for transition. What he means by that, y'all go listen to the man. That's what I can say.
Okay, great, brilliant one. And I think the people in Nima can be proud of you.
Okay.
Yes, coming to Monroe, not for nothing.
Yeah.
Look, someone called me and said, look, we need to turn this country over back to you. I said, like, how? Let the Congo people rule this country again. Because them nigga boys there,
they give me a hard time.
They give us hard time. Yeah. Well, no, Congo, I think you see, we turn the country over to the native boys. See what they're doing? You're playing with the country. You're playing with the country.
Yeah, man.
And let me just say this out to I want to say to the Tifa or plane seller. You came from selling a plane, and now you're a very rich man in Liberia. You never dream about this. Someone for like you are talking to Deputy Speaker for a plane seller to a millionaire now. Those are the folks who left selling plane all in real like that. They say, they may wish to sit on your or I used to even respect the Supreme Court ruling. I don't think it's that way. My own man, Bo, like how I call Richard Kuhn. Me and Richard will see we'll practice how to do together. Bo, from the classroom, the higher decision body of the land have made the decision. We have to respect it. Like Marka have said, Brandon Samunka still cries within his heart. 28,000 votes in Lofa. And the Supreme Court ruled. And he accepted it. But man was defense minister for 12 years. You could tell people of Lofa said, no, I go against it. The sake of the country is above every one of us individually. Let's go back to our president, the father of the land, Joseph Boykai. The ruling yesterday is adherence to the Constitution, then enforcement. The head of state, the president, took oath to adhere to the Constitution. Will he ignore the ruling? I don't think so. Joseph Boykai wanted to ignore the ruling because he took oath to adhere to the Constitution. All of you took oath to adhere to the Constitution. Now, Robert James Kolepo said yesterday, said he's going to make sure he impeach the Supreme Court bench. James, you ever dream of becoming a representative? The ordinary man in the street now, this debate is everywhere in the country. Say, boy, the court rule, the big people that say no, we can go against it. Then we the lower people down here, we're here to it. It can happen to our country. And I'll close up. I received a call. Seriously, I won't lie to you, Marka. I said, but we the Congo boys were running the city. We get to the country, man, and I see the thing they're doing. All those powerful justice, chief justice we have. The ruling is the ruling. You can't bend the law. The U.S. Embassy is watching. In case you don't know, the international partners are watching. They're looking at Liberia. We have, who was the representative? We have David Zimmerman, right?
Yes. Zimmerman.
Zimmerman, yes. Yes. He wrote an email. He said, how was the ruling? and I know a popular lawmaker who was driving this lawmaker from the U.S. in Liberia. How was the ruling? That's what he asked. And I said the ruling went in favor of Fonanti Kofa. I said, but the countrymen respect the ruling. Your EU partners, your foreign partners are all, they're feeling getting the full ruling of the Supreme Court branch. And you say, forget about it. I'm sorry for our president. And I'm sure President Boyka, that's why I need to stand now. Let's see if Joseph Boyka is ready to talk. Well, you took oath to adhere to the Constitution, protect the land. The army is there for two things: protect the Constitution and the land. The president took oath to adhere to the Constitution. The IRS agenda, IRS is their respect for the rule of law. Will it be ignored for people personal gain? Any of you are born to be speaker by force? I'm laughing because people suffering in this country to the extent that when you see one lawmaker part for $45,000 car, and you still wondering, these are poor. But you will be there arguing. And to the young folks, so our colleagues out there, go to Ghana, go to Nigeria to see medical doctors, 25, 26, 27. These are people who running because they respect every decision of the country must be ahead. See, front page Africa headline. Of all the headlines, this is my best headline for today. All the newspapers been posting up. JMB rule of law test. That's the test Joseph Boyka have. If Boyka will pass the test. And all the public officials who posting on Facebook, let investors stay away. If they like, let them stay away. It's a sad day for the country. Women P was the first person. Women P who that whole mind's energy in here. If
they were just celebrating the 48-inch pipe that will go through the help of World Bank and other partners.
Yes.
But they say if investor likes, they should not come.
Stay away. Mo Ali should apologize for that post he even made on Facebook. If investor like, let him stay away. We can't do this to our country. We can't do it, man. It's a sad thing. Those who are in praising, do you know people in praising, they are not getting justice? They either sell there for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. They're just lying behind bars there, thinking about a day justice will be served to them. And when they hear that kind of news, there is no hope. The higher decision body making of the land is the Supreme Court. When the court rules, it rules. Hey, man. Let's leave on, man. Yes, front page is the hardest headline for today. And the president have his first test for the rule of law. If Joseph Boyka, good morning to you. And Sienna, you let me say Sienna, you had served well. Sienna remind me of Jenkins Cart, although he was a man, but you know, the ruling you did have proved you well. You score a very good mark. Sienna, in case you don't know. Sienna Clinton, James Eto Wolokoli, Yusuf Kaba. For Yamin Bweze, when we see where everybody say well, limit of disagreement is liquor talk. I mean that's a fun part of it on the social media. But anything you post on the blue app, anything you post on the social media, the rest of the world are watching it. When you travel out of Liberia, all of our lawmakers, when you travel and go to America, you respect the people's constitution there. They respect it. Go to Europe, Africa, anywhere, they respect it. But in your own country, your Supreme Court rule, you say that fun you make it. Sad day for our country. Yes, I think we can move on right now. Yeah, I guess sports coming up. Yes. Come on, boys, man. Martin, yes, man. We should continue running the country. We'll tell them to the country boys thing now. The country men are making it worse for us. Let's see what's making up in the world of sports coming up this morning. So right on the dot, Nami Tapia is here to fill us in the word of sports. Good morning to you, Naomi. Good morning.
Good morning, Onu. Good morning, everyone. The Confederation of African Football Cup for short lessons, the coaching course organized by the Liberia Football Association in partnership with CAF for female IMICs at the Morocco Central Prison Continent on Wednesday, with CAF instructor Robert Lighty leading the theoretical section. Liberia's women's national team assistant coach and safeguarding officer Kevin Lamin facilitated the practical section. The initiative, according to the RFA, aims to empower female inmates through football education, providing them with valuable coaching skills and a renewed sense of purpose. The RFA added that the training will leverage football as a means of rehabilitation and fostering positive transformation. 23 inmates and 2 correction officers and an instructor are participating in the week-long course being facilitated by CAP instructors. Ancestors 2 will take on Watanga Girls at 2:30 p.m. at the SKD Sports Complex in Painesville in the Liberia Kickball Federation National Lottery League's second division category this Thursday. United Royal Girls and SRCM will battle at 3:20 p.m. while Destiny 2 will welcome Tonsin Kickball Club at 4:10 p.m. in continuation of the Liberia Kickball Federation National Lottery League Second Division encounters. The day's last encounter will win its skills and Supreme Kickball Club coming face to face at 5 p.m. at the same venue. Rangers have confirmed for the first time that they are in negotiations with American investors, including the San Francisco 49ers, about a possible takeover of the club. Reports of interest first surfaced earlier this year, but the Hebrews club said that productive conversations are ongoing. In a joint statement, Rangers also added that the potential investors are looking for a controlling stake. Neither party have mentioned a timeline for any deal to be concluded, though sources close to negotiations previously said a deal was expected to be completed between April and June. The statement said Rangers and its existing controlling stakeholders are in productive conversations with the 2 lead members of the consortium, Andrew Kavanagh and 49ers Enterprises Global Football Group, about the potential for the consortium to acquire control of the club and to inject additional capital. Marcus Rashford feels it is unlikely he will play for Manchester United again under Ruben Amorim, but will not be rushed into making a decision about his future. Rashford scored his 4th goal since joining Aston Villa on loan in February, during their 2-1 loss at Manchester City on Tuesday. The striker's loan deal at Villa Park expires at the end of the season. But while his United contract is due to run until 2028 and it is not completely out of the question, Rashford might return. Sources close to the player do not see an obvious way back into the Old Trafford fold. Rashford was exiled by Amorim from the first team in December, then a side from home defeat at Newcastle on 30 December, where he was an unused substitute, did not pick him in his matchday squad again. In the wake of the Villa move, Amorim said he couldn't get Marcos to see the way he's supposed to play football and to train the way he sees it. It means United will have to decide whether to sell the 27-year-old or let him move away from the club on another loan deal this summer. Finally, Crystal Palace twice came from behind to draw at second place Arsenal and leave Liverpool 1 point from being crowned Premier League champions for the second time in 6 seasons. A draw against Tottenham Hotspur at Anfield on Sunday, 16:30 BST, will now be enough for Arne Slot's side, who lead Arsenal by 12 points to clinch their 20th league title, equaling Manchester United's record. Both Arsenal and Palace's main focus is on their cup exploits, with the Gunners in the Champions League semi-finals and the Eagles are at same stage in the FA Cup, and both managers rested key players. Arsenal took an early lead at Emirates Stadium when centre-back Joko planted an excellent header past Dan Harrison from a Martin Odegaard free kick in the 10th minute. Palace looked dangerous on the attack but vulnerable at the back. Ottawa Glasnow's side equalized through a cleverly worked set piece in the 27th minute. That's all from our sports text.
Liberia, yeah, hello. Hello. I'm coming with a heavy heart today because I have been following the attacks on the Honorable Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia. And as a counselor of law in Liberia, it is my duty to protect you who are consumers of the law, right? To make sure that everything I do as a lawyer is done with ethics, is done with integrity, so I protect those who are consumers of justice. Equally so, we who are lawyers are called to protect purveyors of the law, those who engage in the commodities of the law, including the Supreme Court. I have seen the denigration, the disrespect, the derogatory comments made about one of the three branches of government. And we sit in this country and we don't say, "Wah!" We act like it is okay. Our society is declining more and more and more. And those of us who know better sit here and just allow it to happen. We don't speak, maybe for fear, who knows what. But at some point in time, we have to let the young people know that this is wrong. No one, nobody, especially not appointed or elected officials in one branch of government, should be disrespecting and denigrating another branch of government. There is a way to express your thoughts. Freedom of speech is necessary, but you are a reflection of the president. You in the executive branch, you are a reflection of our CEO. The president of Liberia. That's your boss. You speak on his behalf. How are you making your president look in the region? I'm not talking about in Liberia, because people are monitoring us. How is an appointed official denigrating the Supreme Court of Liberia? You are making your boss man to look bad to his counterparts in the region. Stop it. And Liberians, stop going underneath their posts and liking it and encouraging it. The place where the post sitting, you're not sitting. You need to be worried about how you're paying tuition tomorrow. You need to be worried about which clinic you will take your child to when your child gets sick. Somebody not give you authority to go. You will not put your hand on ratio. Do not go under nobody's Facebook post and be liking any disrespect to the Supreme Court. That Auntie Charlene telling you they want now, not Councilor Bromsky talking. Stay from the people in business, that be people business. What they're doing is wrong. I'm here to talk to the young people. Do better. Not everything is about your political party. Not everything needs to be political. The rule of law allows the Supreme Court to make determinations. I beg you, Papa. You let to live better in the country. And those of us who know better, let's try to teach the young people. You stay off Facebook. Do not go and post on anybody's post. Don't like it. Don't even go cause censor. Be quiet. Let them do the people talk. You're not inside you getting the gas slip. You're not getting the money they're getting. Stay out of their business. What they're doing is wrong. They're making the boss man to look bad. Yeah, thank you.
Fellow Liberians,
Liberia, yeah, hello. I'm coming with a heavy heart today because I have been following the attacks on the Honorable Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia. And as a counselor of law in Liberia, it is my duty to protect you who are consumers of the law, right? To make sure that everything I do as a lawyer is done with ethics, is done with integrity, so I protect those who are consumers of justice. Equally so, we who are lawyers are called to protect purveyors of the law, those who engage in the commodities of the law, including the Supreme Court. I have seen the denigration, the disrespect, the derogatory comments made about one of the three branches of government. And we sit in this country and we don't say, "Wah!" We act like it is okay. Our society is declining more and more and more. And those of us who know better sit here and just allow it to happen. We don't speak, maybe for fear, who knows what. But at some point in time, we have to let the young people know that this is wrong. No one, nobody, especially not appointed or elected officials in one branch of government, should be disrespecting and denigrating another branch of government. There is a way to express your thoughts. Freedom of speech is necessary, but you are a reflection of the president. You in the executive branch, you are a reflection of our CEO. The president of Liberia. That's your boss. You speak on his behalf. How are you making your president look in the region? I'm not talking about in Liberia, because people are monitoring us. How is an appointed official denigrating the Supreme Court of Liberia? You are making your boss man to look bad to his counterparts in the region. Stop it. And Liberians, stop going underneath their posts and liking it and encouraging it. The place where the post sitting, you're not sitting